Aunt Wang said, my grandma was born in 7 months. Yu Niang said, I hung it down in the coffin in the middle of the night, and my girl and I lit the lamp and looked at it. It turned out to be a little boy. Aunt Wang said, my grandma. What a pity. Why is it twisted? It's still because the fetus is not firmly seated. You, the old man, have raised a boy who is better than others. Look at Liu Niang in front of you. Not long after she entered the door, she was pregnant. How wonderful it is to have a son. Yu Niang said, each of his children will just follow heaven. Aunt Wang said, it doesn't matter. Every time I go with Master Zhu, I get a piece of good luck medicine. The year before last, Mr. Chen's wife was also middle-aged and childless. She often gave birth to several miscarriages without any chance of survival. She also took Zhu's medicine, Master Fu Yao. Now she has given birth to a baby boy full of arms. The whole family is extremely happy. It's just that it's hard to find an item. Yu Niang asked. What object? Mrs. Wang said. Use the clothes of the firstborn child, wash them with wine, burn them to ashes, and accompany them with talismans. On the day of Renzi, no one knows. No ghosts. After sleeping, Kong Shen ate it with rice wine. I reckon that the days were good, and I will have fetal chi in 1 month. Good luck. Yu Niang said, is this master a male monk or a female monk? Where do you live? Aunt Wang said, he is also me. The female monk is also in her 50s. Yu Niang said, you invite him to come for a walk tomorrow. Aunt Wang said, I know. Wait until I get this talisman for you, old man, but this one is hard to find. There is no place to find it here. If that's the case, you might as well take the child's room in front of you and use it as an excuse. Yu Niang said, why harm others to your own safety? I and your money. You slowly find another way for me. Aunt Wang said, you just ask me to find this, and he has it. I will help you to cultivate this talisman water, and you will get it after eating it, if you raise it tomorrow. You can raise it as much as you like. 10 stars can't be worthy of it. Yu Niang ordered, don't tell anyone. Aunt Wang said, good grandma, have you made me stupid? Are you willing to tell anyone? After saying it for a while, she fell asleep. One night scene has been mentioned. The next day, Simon Qingda came home from the temple, and Yu Niang got up to comb her hair. Yu Xiao took the clothes and sat down. Yu Niang said, yesterday, my 6th sister was waiting for you to come to celebrate your birthday. Why didn't you come? Come, please keep me and brother Hua, second brother Ying, and Zi Zaida. The 2 little boys were playing and singing, and I drank wine all night. I came to the city first this morning, and second brother Ying and the 3 of them were still eating wine. Told once. Yu Xiao handed over the tea and ate it. He didn't go to the Yamen either. Now he has food. You put your little Taoist priest in his clothes and hug him. Go to the front and have a look with his father. Pan Jinlian said, I'll go too. It won't work if you sprinkle some yuezhen on it. So Li Pinger hugged brother Dingwan, and Pan Jinlian followed him to the west wing in front. When the book boy saw the 2 of them raising the curtain, he quickly hid. Simon King, who had been drinking all night, threw his head down and looked at the sky and the earth, snoring like thunder. Jin Lian and Li Pinger sat on the bed one by one, putting the child in front of him. They couldn't help but fool around, and soon woke up Simon. Plow the fields yesterday. Are you so sleepy today? Sleepy in broad daylight. Yesterday you asked Wuma to just pay attention waiting for you. How dare you not come and kowtow to 5th mother? Simon King said, yesterday the wedding ceremony ended late. We thanked the generals at night and ate all night. Today we have to drink a lot of wine. After sleeping here, we have to go to Shangju's house to have wine. Jin Lian said, you just don't want to drink. Simon King said, his family sent me a message yesterday. Don't blame me if you don't bother others. Jin Lian said, go, come home early in the evening and evening. I'll be waiting for you. Li Pinger said, his eldest mother has laid out the meal and made some sour bamboo shoot soup. I'll treat you to a meal. Simon King said, I don't want to eat yet. Just wait for me to drink some soup. So he got up and went to the back. When Pan Jinlian saw him, She sat down in the middle of the bed, stepped on the stove and said, "This turns out to be a king." He reached out and touched the inside of the mattress and said, "It's a scorching hot bed." So the two of them hugged Brother Guan and went to the back. After a long time, Simon King finished his meal, ordered his troops to prepare their horses, and went to Shangju's house for a drink in the afternoon. Grandma Pan went first. Yunyang said, "It doesn't matter. You just did a good job for me. I will thank you." So Sukuru resigned. The judge heard that any noble family should never promote nuns, and nuns like this. In the deep palace courtyard, accompanied by women, they all used the pretext of talking about scriptures to provide warmth and steal the cold behind their backs. Why not do it? There is poetry to prove it. The most unspeakable thing is that she is coaxing Chanjuan in the deep palace courtyard. "I have a red cloth handkerchief in my room to cover your head. When I go back, I will only say dad to them. I found another girl and tried to bluff them, but Guanding believed her." Chamai walked in front with a lantern and walked to the front of Yemen. She bumped into Chen Jingji and said with a smile, "Who is coming?" "This is Wu Niang's business." Li Ping'er shouted, "Brother-in-law, come here. After I tell you, you go in and see them first." "That's all. I just took it. The sedan chair is here to see you off." Yunyang said, "Really? Why didn't sister-in-law Zhu come and tell me first?" Yunyang said, "Good grandma, you can't do it. If you have money, just buy 100 of them. What's the point? How many? We all have wives who are in the army." Just a few words. Yu Xiao said, "Wait and see." In the moonfield, Chanmai was lighting a lantern. Anna was behind and she was lighting a lantern. Li Ping'er followed behind, wearing a hijab and wearing red clothes. Panicked, Meng Yulu and Li Jiar both came out to take a look. After a long time, he entered the room. Yunyang smiled and said, "This sixth sister became a spirit and died. You believe me every time you coax her." Yulu said, "I don't believe it." Miss Young said, "Sister, how come you don't believe me when you see this?" Yulu said, "My sixth sister has always kotoed, and I also learned how to do it." She started kotoing and took 2 steps back before bowing. Miss Young said, "My sister can see it, so I will believe it if I ask for it." Lear said, "I just believe it." He didn't take off his hijab just now. He was smiling and couldn't recognize him. Just as he was talking, he saw Qin Tunger carrying him into the felt bag and saying, "Dad is coming home." Meng Yulu said, "You hide in the open room. Wait for him to come in, and wait for me to coax him." After a while, Simon King arrived, and Miss Young and Da Queasy went out, entered the room and sat down on the chairs. Yunyang remained silent. Yulu said, "Today, sister-in-law Zhu brought a 20-year-old girl in a sedan chair. She said that you asked her to send it to her. You are so old and have a bright future. Why do you still do this?" Simon King said with a smile, "How can I ask him to buy a girl? Do you believe that old whore is coaxing you?" Yulu said, "Are you asking the eldest sister? The girl is also here. I won't coax you." Yulu said, "Wait for me to pull him. You are such a brave slave. You twist your master without the leader moving. You are also a disobedient person. Pull it in." Simon King opened his eyes to look under the shadow of the lamp, but it was Pan Jinlian wearing a bun and pretending to be a girl, smiling with her eyes wide open. The golden lotus was sitting on the chair next to it. Yulu said, "What a bold girl. When you are new here, you act like an ungrateful person and sit in front of your master," Yunyang said with a smile. "You take advantage of your master to come home and kowtow to him. Stop." The golden lotus didn't move. She walked to Yunyang's inner room, pulled out the hairpin, put on a bun and came out. Yunyang said, "What a slut. If you take advantage of anyone, you will wear a bun." Everyone laughed again. "Tomorrow, our family will send out invitations. On the 14th, we will also invite his wife, the wife of Zhou Guard, the wife of Jingdu supervisor, Mr. Xia's wife and Mrs. Zhang's mother. The eldest daughter-in-law doesn't have to go home anymore. She taught Bai Si to call a flower craftsman to come and make some fireworks. Wang Wang's family was acting together and asked him to play the Romance of the West Chamber. Go to the courtyard. Zhang Zai brought Wu Yin'er and sister Li Gui over. After a while, Simon King arrived and saw that the woman was still wearing her bun. He was very happy and sat on the chair with his arms round him, chatting and laughing. After a while, JinPingMei packed up the food and wine. The woman offered him wine again. Simon King said, "You little greasy mouth. I've just handed it over to you. I'll teach you to worry about it again." Jin Lian smiled and said, "Drinking doesn't count in that group. This is a servant's business. I will give you some wine and it will cost you money every year. Don't complain." Simon King laughed so hard that he couldn't help but quickly picked up his drink, held him in his arms, and sat on his knees. JinPingMei pours wine and Qiu brings vegetables. Jin Lian said, "Let me ask you, on the 12th day, I will go to the Kiao family's invitation. Only the eldest sister will go," Simon King said. "He will invite everyone as soon as possible. Why don't you go? Tomorrow, I will invite you. Tomorrow we will have wine at our house and invite all the officials and wives, so that we can see him and not make people laugh. I always say, you are so stupid." Simon King smiled and said, "Since it's so cute, I'll call Tailor Zhao to come and cut it for you tomorrow." Jin Lian said, "When I asked the tailor to do it tomorrow, there are only 2 days left, so it's still too late." I exchanged 5 taels of silver and worked with Mr. Zhao for wages. On the one hand, I asked a dozen tailors to make it at home. Exactly. A girl is adorned with golden bells and jade, and a beautiful baby is adorned with brocade beads.
Alright, this part of the story ends here.
Want to know what happened next? Let's listen to the breakdown next time.